Hey. Hey, can you still hear me? Damn it. If there was less sunlight, I could strengthen this. Wait, I think I can hear you. I'll ask one more time. Can you hear me? Okay, good. I thought the connection was severed when the goblin dragged you down that tunnel. Almost had me assuming the worst for a bit there. I'm making my way through the mines, but it's going to be a bit before I'm able to find wherever that tunnel opened up at. I would have gone through it myself, but unfortunately I wouldn't fit. Are you hurt at all? What about the goblin that pulled you down there? Huh. Sounds like you got lucky. Landing on the goblin cushioned your fall, so nothing was broken or badly injured. And on top of that, you managed to crush it to death. Good thing these little pests are rather fragile. However, what they lack in strength, they make up for in massive numbers. It's like dealing with an army of roided up second graders going from how they're acting now. Having you stay there at this point is not going to make any of this any easier. So it would be best if you start heading towards me. But since there's no map of the goblin lair, maybe this will work. I've been around you for long enough that the image I need to use for this spell may be enough. Give me a moment. Fates, bound together across infinite space, reveal the path. I don't know how long this guiding spell will last, but it should allow both of us to navigate through these mines towards each other. You can feel it, right? The force that seems to be pulling you in a particular direction? If you follow that sense, it should take you towards me. I'm doing the same, so once we've reunited, we can take this hunt from there. Alright, let's move. Are you hearing any goblins on your side right now? Okay, that's good. The attention I drew towards the surface must be pulling majority of the horde over there. If things go right, we should be able to find each other with minimal to no encounters. I know you've got the runestones, but I still would prefer to not have you get involved if not necessary. In the meantime, I guess it is a good point to explain a bit about these creatures. First of all, the way they're described in popular culture and stuff, yeah, that's pretty much on the mark. Behavioral hierarchy is also as expected, but it's a lot more streamlined than anything. There's no shamans or commanders or whatever caste system you'll find in any tabletop game. It would be more comparable to things like ants. The older goblins are the ones that do most outside of the horde tunnels. Scouting, taking goods, etc., those will all be done by these. The younglings serve as guards for the inner reaches of the lair. And when the horde gets to be a certain size, they'll also be responsible for digging more tunnels. Above that is an extremely rare occurrence known as the chief. When I say rare, I mean you'll likely never encounter one of these if you were to find a new tribe every single day for the rest of your life, or 3 lifetimes over. Even in the organization's history, there has only been at most 2 that have been discovered. However, that's not what made them attack the town. What caused that was... What is it? One in front of you? Okay, focus. Deep breath. If it hasn't noticed you, you have the advantage. But if you panic, that will alert it. Remain calm. Alright. Well, from what I know, that one must be a straggler. Let's not waste time. Get one of those runestones in your hand, now. Got it? Okay. Now, I need you to focus. Don't let any thoughts of fear creep into your mind. What you need to concentrate on now is what you want to accomplish with that stone. I'm sure you've seen enough movies or other videos to have a clear clue of what you want to cast. You just need to visualize it. Pick a simple one and go with it. That's all that's needed to take down one of those things. Okay, got it? Now, what you need is a command. Easiest thing to pick is a word associated close to the image in your mind, like water to drown or earth to shatter. Got that? Now, use it! Guess there were more. Good thing I'm just about there. Take a couple steps back. Gust! Good. I finally found you. You seem to be holding up all right. Oh, my eyes? I used a spell to enhance my vision in these dark tunnels. I don't think we're far enough out of the sun's presence for my vampire traits to surface again. Here. Light my path like fireflies. That should give us a better view of things. Speaking of which, how was your first spellcast? Oh, I see. Going from the charred goblin behind you, or at least what remains of it, used a fire spell, didn't you? What was the command you ended up using? Ignite? For such a simple command, that certainly seems to have done a lot more than I'd expect. It burned hotter to the point the body is closer to cinders. But that isn't important right now. I'm glad it worked successfully. Honestly, you technically don't need a command or word to cast magic. But for people just learning, it's the easiest way to start. Now we'd best get moving. Lingering here will only draw more of the horde to our location. When hunting goblins, it's important to stay mobile. Hit and run is the best tactic we can use here. Getting flanked is the easiest way to be taken down in an environment like this. Unfortunately, what we'll need to do is head deeper into the mine. Why? Well, I found out exactly why this goblin tribe is acting so aggressively. While making my way down, I came across a dead and missing log for the workers here. Turns out a group of miners had disappeared a few days before the bounty was filed. And I found one of their bodies. Picked clean of anything considered valuable, but also badly lacerated, as if every major artery in their body was severed. In fact, take a look at the color of the rock. You probably couldn't see it before. It's coated in dried blood. These are indications of a goblin tribe going redcap, a permanent switch in behavior where they go from mischievous to murderous. Something about seeing fresh human blood sends goblins into a frenzy. But normally that would be an isolated incident with only a handful of goblins capping. For these many to do so, and still be so organized, I can only suspect it's the result of a red-capped goblin chief. There hasn't been one of those seen in over 3 centuries. So for one to be here now as well as being red-capped, we won the worst kind of lottery. To make it out of here, we'll need to find and kill that chief. Losing their leader will cause the lesser ones to panic and scatter, which will give us the opportunity to leave unhindered. Do you really need me to spell out where the townsfolk are? Where do you think the goblins got enough blood to paint their nest? We're the only 2 people left. The only kindness we can do for them now is make it out of here and get this lair sealed off for complete eradication. Got it? Alright, we're already deep into their nest, deeper than the miners ever reached, so it shouldn't be too far to find where the Goblin Chief is. Remember, fresh blood is what frenzies goblins. So the fresher the blood, the closer to the chief we are. Careful, it's going to be rather slippery now. Deep breaths, alright? Breathe in. Breathe out. That's right. Keep doing that. This isn't like the lichen. I'm physically here. Plus, you know how to use magic. You're in a much better situation than before. And notice something? Yeah, red circles. Which means my vampire strengths are back. To some level. I'm definitely not at 100%, but I should be strong enough. Now, to be frank, I haven't hunted a goblin chief before. However, if it comes down to it, I do have a trick up my sleeve which can give us the edge. But it's rather risky. No one in the hunter organization can know about this either, alright? What am I doing? Collecting some of the fresh blood dripping from these walls. It's needed for that last resort. Alright, just that much should be enough. Okay, if it comes down to that, I need you to do something, and it's specifically to protect you. Should I say the word for vent? I need you to take one of those stones and immediately start picturing the brightest sunny day you can think of. 1 minute after that, use a command word and unleash that spell. Ideally, I'd really rather not use this, but going from the way things have been, I'm pretty sure this will be a necessity. Got it? Okay, follow me. There it is. Rather large fellow, isn't it? Doesn't help that's learned to hold a pickaxe. Stay here. You dead? Well, best take your head for good measure. What? This one's much tougher than I expected. Even rune-powered strikes and heavy shotgun slugs aren't doing much good. Well, so much for that. Get ready. Prevent. Now we're rid of that pesky weapon. Now for your other arm. Your legs. Finally, your head. Oh? What is that pleasant sound I hear? Do I hear the pitter-patter of a human heartbeat? Ah, what a nice little reward for... God! Good work. Let's get out of here. We're finally out. All right. I've placed a hunter's mark for whoever comes and destroys this place. In addition, while searching for you, I placed some runestones at various points of the nest. Pretty sure they're connected to other exits. It might not catch all of them, but at the least it'll keep most of them trapped here. What was that? Something particularly dangerous. That balance I need to maintain as a half-breed? Well, I've been alive for long enough to test how far I can push my limit. If I taste the fresh blood of a human, it strengthens my vampiric traits, but I can only maintain control for about a minute. Normally, this means nothing, since if I were to use it, I'm surrounded by nothing but enemies. And after that, I don't believe it'd last much longer before I regain sanity. If it weren't for that spell I had you cast, well, let's just say neither of us would have wanted that outcome. That being said, I wasn't expecting it to be so powerful, especially with what you've learned so far. The same thing with that combustion spell. I wonder if you've got a natural affinity towards those. Maybe this has something to do with what you were able to use on that lichen. Possession reversal. Memory loss. Fire and light. I have a feeling these are all connected somehow. Either way, let's get moving. No. I'm alright. Just drained from earlier. Come on. Oh, actually, hold up a moment. A small thing I do after a bounty. Since I can't build a gravestone for every life lost, I attune to a handful of stones and scatter them at the hunting ground as a symbolic replacement. It really doesn't accomplish anything for anyone else, but it at least allows me to be able to focus on what comes next and not be hung up on the past. Let's get moving. At this point, I think you've been through enough. A quiet ride home seems like a nice thing to have now, doesn't it?